BadSecretMedia.com.
We should hate Bad Secret Media.
Hey there, gamers. Welcome to the Secret Levels podcast. On this week's episode, lace up your boots, maggots, and shave your head, because we're heading to war.
Player 1, reporting for duty. This is Toby.
Player 2, comrades, goobs.
And we do a weekly retro video game review show where we talk about some of the best and some of the worst video games known to man.
We give them a rating, and then we rage about it. Like, do you want to shove this microphone straight down your throat? Because sometimes I feel like doing so. And it would go down with ease as well.
Oh, very sexy.
Got a big mouth.
We are also part of the Somebody's Network, where there's a bunch of great shows like The Best Darn Diddly or Casual Sex with Crumb. And you can find them all on Instagram and Twitter at Somebody's Net.
Go do that. Check them all out. Give them a listen. There's even another video game show on there. Curse you, Adam. East Coast Gamers. Good show. Go check it out.
Well, we might have to start a war with them.
Yeah, maybe. Might be the case.
Or we could just talk about this game about war that we have picked for this week.
The original Red versus Blue.
It sure is. It sure is. So you picked us a game called General Chaos.
Yeah, it was just random. He's like, what do you want to play? I'm like, I remember playing General Chaos growing up. He's like, you're like, what is that? I'm like, oh, it's like a real-time strategy kind of game, and couldn't really explain it too well. I'm sure we'll have a rough time explaining it to you all. To y'all, not you all, but we'll have a rough time explaining how this game works, but we will do so.
Yeah, I'd never heard of this. I've never even seen this video game in the video rental store or anything. So this was I'm 100% new to this game, so this might be interesting.
Well, I talked to because guys know me as the retro gamer guy at work, right? So guys come up and like, oh, have you played this game, that game? And you'd be surprised when people come up and like, do you remember this war game for Sega Genesis? I'm like, fucking General Chaos? And they're like, that's the name of it. And they go out and try to find it and buy it. And one guy had it. He's like, I still have mine from when I was a kid. I'm like, you bastard.
That's crazy.
I lost my version in The Purge.
Oh, The Purge.
Yeah, people came after me to steal it and killed a lot of people just for that game. Yeah, it happens.
Well, you want me to give you some details on this game before we really get into it?
Let's jump right into the deets, General. General Toby. No, you be General Tobias. That sounds way more war-like.
So this game came out in 1993. It was developed by Game Refuge Inc., and it was published by Electronic Arts. And this was a Sega Genesis exclusive.
The Sega Genesis has blast processing. Super Nintendo doesn't.
It's a single player up to 4 players with a multi-tap.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's a point-and-click real-time strategy war game. And there's a little bit of a story, which is really cool because there's damn near a full comic book in the manual.
Well, thank God there's something in the manual because...
Yeah, well...
We'll get to that.
I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes version of that story.
It's story time with Toby.
Our story begins with 2 children being born with very unfortunate names, Chaos and Havoc. These 2 children ended up being neighborhood friends.
It sounds like Professor X and Magneto, but they weren't neighbors.
They studied all types of army and war tactics, and loved to test each other's knowledge. One day, Chaos found an ultra-rare copy of his favorite comic book, the first edition of it. It's called Huge, muscular, destructive, heavily armed, frequently exploding combat warriors in battle.
I think I've seen that video on Pornhub.
So, Havoc, being greedy...
That's the craziest comic name I've ever heard, by the way.
You know what? When I was reading it, I was like, I bet they did that so they didn't, by chance, accidentally get something...
Rip something off?
Yeah. So, Havoc and his greed got the best of him. He tried to snatch it from Chaos, but the two ended up tearing it apart. From this day, they were mortal enemies. They grew up and figured out one way to settle their differences: through battle.
Okay, this kind of reminds me, the synopsis of that reminds me of a certain Simpsons episode with Bart and Milhouse arguing over a #1 issue of Radioactive Man.
That's right.
So I wonder who came first. Probably Simpsons did it first. Because they always do it first.
That's right. So now General Chaos tries to push General Havoc's armies back to take control over his base. And, which is a really weird, like they were neighbors and now somehow they both are in control of armies and everyone is a part of their war games.
Their drive to succeed, Toby, led them to the positions in life.
I guess so.
And fate binded them together at birth in their neighborhood friendship. It's like an anime, man.
It really is. This could be an anime.
We're playing Naruto, the war game.
So this game, I could see a first-timer having a lot of trouble, like I did. So you're going to spend about 30 minutes to an hour, probably, to beat this your first playthrough.
To figure it out. If you don't know, like, I remember playing this game, so the first battle was a little bit rough. After that, you figure out the controls again, you're like, okay, this ain't too bad.
Right. So Speedrun has only one speedrun done on this game.
I'm going for it, dude.
You should. It's by Bald Nate, and he beat it. Now, as I was watching it, I realized he only played one round, I think.
That's all you need.
Right.
It just repeats itself. We'll get into that.
Anyways, he beat it at 8 minutes and 2 seconds. So, and then that's what I was going to ask you, because if you continue, you have to beat the campaign twice to get the right ending. To get the real ending, I should say.
Yeah, where you have to spend a night with one of your wonderful workers.
So I don't know because I think he only beat it once. I kind of scanned through it because, there's not a lot of...
This game is more fun to play than it is to watch.
Exactly, there you go. So I kind of skipped around and got to the end, and I was like, I think he just only beat that once. So anyways.
I should do it twice.
Do it twice and have that record. That'd be awesome.
I just need to figure out how the fuck to record that. But yeah, no, I could totally speedrun that shit.
You could just point a camera at the TV and behind you. I've seen people do that.
Yeah, let me bring out the VHS recorder.
You have a phone,
Can I email it to him?
You have a phone.
Not email it to him. Can I snail mail?
This is how I'm going to submit this.
It'd be the right way, right? You play it on the CCTV. Play it on the old school TV, and then you film it the old school way, and then you send it over. You wear like all fucking like 90s clothes for wrestling and shit.
Say, I beat it years ago.
This is me. Picture of me then. It's the same picture of me now.
I haven't aged. I'm a vampire. You want to talk about some gameplay?
Let's talk about some gameplay.
Okay, so you start the game with a few options. It's got 1-player mode, 2-player mode, and then there's 2-player mode, the same team, basically. And if you notice, there's some blank spots that look like they could be used. When you got the multi-tab hooked in, it's got a 3-player option and a 4-player option.
Yes.
And then there's, at the very bottom, there's a training mode called Boot Camp. Highly suggest that you go ahead and go straight to Boot Camp if you're going to play this game, because...
I skipped Boot Camp, brother.
Oh, man. I had to figure it out. I tried to play...
You're a first-timer, right? You're new to the war zone.
Well, I went ahead and played it, and had no freaking clue what I was doing. So I was like, yep, I got to go to the training. So, training is a must in this game. So, Player 1 mode, it shows a map. the point of the game is to win the areas on the map. It's divided into sections.
Think Risk.
Yes, and what you're trying to do is win so you can move to the next one of the next areas.
You want to push the enemy back, man. Just
yeah.
You want to keep dominating him over and over.
Yes, you're trying to push them back to General Havoc's base. Now he's trying to do the same thing to you. If he gets to your base first, you lose. But if you get to his, you'll win. But you need to do it twice.
And you get to play it again.
Yeah, and you have to do the same thing. You claim the area with a blue pin after you end up defeating them, and if General Havoc wins, he gets a red pin on it. So,
and there's some spots like I think there's 3 different levels that you can choose from to move forward so you can pick your spot that you want to battle in. But if the pin's already on it, you can't go back there. You got to pick one of the
free
other
ones.
2.
Yeah, one of the free ones. Each area that you pick to fight in, the battlefields, they might have different obstacles like rivers, trees, rocks, barricades. There could be a bunch of different things.
Barbed
in the
wire.
level. Yeah, so
Sandbags. The trials of war. That's what we're talking about here, Toby. War.
On the overhead map, if you see a big river going through it, it's going to have a river in that level. That's just how it works. There's a river in the level. So once you've picked which area you want to try to take over, it takes you to another screen to where you can pick your troops. And there's 4 different troops that you can pick from. You have to press up, down, left, or right.
And it shows it like in a file folder, like you're looking at classified information.
Right, and this is how you select the different crews. So there's an assault team, there's a brute force, there's a demolition. God damn it.
You were close.
There's a demolition. How do you say it?
Demolition.
There's
You
a
better keep that in there, you fucker. Jen's like, how fucked up were you last time when you couldn't pronounce that one word? I'm like, Toby fucking kept it in because he's a dick.
Demolition. Is that how you say it?
Demolition.
Demolition. God dang it.
You lose. Like Demolition Man with fucking...
I know, but I can't. It's...
Sty Stallone, man.
I'm having a brain fart. Anyways, there's that squad. And then there's the commandos. So, like, assault team, they have usually, like, gunners and stuff like that. Just people with guns.
There's a different, like, you can be a gunner, like an assault rifle guy, a rocket launcher, grenade, TNT, or a flamethrower.
Right.
Those are the 5 classes you can have. And those different teams, they make up, you can have, like, 2 flamethrowers, 2 grenade launcher guys, and a rocket launcher. That'd be, like, one of your strong brute force teams, and you can go in there. The assault team, though, or I think it was the assault, the one on the up. I think that was what it was called.
The commandos are the one that has 2 only.
Yeah, they're at the very bottom.
Right.
They just have 2 guys, and, like, why the fuck have 2 when you can have 4? There might be some, like, different way to have, like, good strategy to have 2 guys, but I prefer to have 5.
Right. Yeah, and every level... the teams are shuffled around, so you're never going to have like an assault team with all just guns. You might have 4 with guns and 1 with a rocket launcher. It changes every time, so you have to really kind of look and see what fits your playstyle the best. Now,
I find the assault team had one of everyone sometimes, and that was like pretty decent.
Yeah, like I said, it changes around every time, but there's 4 different choices. Now the commandos are the same every time. One's a grenade chunker, and the other's got a gun. And it's weird when you select them. I'll get to all this in a second, but when you select that character, you actually can move it with the D-pad.
Oh, see, I could have I should have tried that then.
So
I didn't remember to do that.
So that's the commandos. So that's once you pick the map, you pick your crew. Like I was saying, you can move those with the D-pad when you select them, but because you're controlling 5 different characters, you use with the other crews, you use the D-pad to actually move the cursor around the screen, and you can move your troops that way. So this is where it's going to get complicated, Goobs.
Explaining the controls?
Yes. So you can press B, and that's how you select where you want the soldiers to be with the cursor. So you can
so it puts the X on the map, so you can say the buttons, and then I'll explain what they do, if that's cool with you.
Yeah.
So it puts the X on the map, and then your character, say you're using a gunner, he'll go to that X, and then it will go to the next person.
Right. Or you can press C to cycle through the your different soldiers.
Yeah, say you want to keep your rocket launcher and grenade thrower at the back, you can push C and then change it to your, say you want your gunner up front. So you can kind of pick and choose which and where you want your guys. And then you can move them up. They'll run to the X. They take a little bit of time. And that's pretty much it. And then once they're there, Toby, you got to use the A button, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, use the A button and that'll
Unleash
make them
hell.
Yeah, that'll make them all start firing. Now, they usually shoot the closest enemy to them. So that's kind of a problem because their troops are moving around constantly, so it's hard to try to gang up on one at a time because they're constantly moving and new enemies are coming into the way, so they take the fire instead of someone else.
It's kind of a divide and conquer kind of thing. You got to spread your guys out. If you keep them in a cluster, you're fucked.
Right. And when you're cycling through, pressing C to cycle through, there's the icons on the top left you'll see are in blue, and it's got the 5 squares to indicate which kind of soldier you're selected currently. It'll be highlighted white.
And underneath them as well, they'll have it lit up in a circle underneath them.
Right. And it'll also say what they do off to the side in case you don't recognize the icons. So it's kind of helpful. It's I'll let you know, you'll get stressed out because this game kind of moves fast and you're like, oh shit, and you'll stress out and just kind of cycle through or press the wrong button. That's what happened to me a lot.
And then what happened the first time, Toby? What were your feelings when your character ran into another character?
Oh, I didn't know what to think of this. So there's the close combat. You wanna tell
AKA hockey fight.
It is a hockey fight. All the troops around you stop shooting just to watch. And if there's too many troops like real close together, it'll actually push them back when the fight cloud starts.
So you know, like when 2 cartoon characters get in a tussle and all you see is a dust ball happening?
Yes.
That's exactly what happens in this game. And then your characters will just be standing off against each other. The whole game freezes, like Toby just said. And then you can push one button's punch and one button block, and I forget which buttons there are. I didn't play it on the Genesis. Yes, I played it by nefarious means. Ooh, sue me. Nintendo might, or Sega might. Someone might. But, yeah, one kick, one punch, one block button, and that's exactly what you gotta do. But I found out if you just keep hitting punch, you'll just end up beating them. Unless they're a motherfucker, and they fall to the ground in the last life, and they pull out a gun and shoot you. Because that's some cheap shit.
Yeah, and it's random. It's real random. And apparently you can do it back to them, but I don't know how to do it. So, and
I used to remember, like, I used to know how, but I couldn't figure it out this time.
Right. So it's when you're in this close combat mode, A is to punch, and then, which I didn't know until I read the manual, if you hold up and hit A, you'll do a high punch, and hold down and hit A, it'll do a low punch. And B is kick, so it's the same thing. High punch pressing, or high kick pressing up in the B button, and low kick doing down in the B button, and then C is block.
All I found was just hit punch. Punch, 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 punch.
Yeah, if you just hit A, you'll just do a straight punch, and if you just hit B, you'll just do a straight kick. And punch, you're right. If you just spam the punch button, more than likely you're gonna win, unless they pull the damn gun out. Which
if you have one of those fancy fucking turbo controllers that do automatic function, just hold it down. Just you're gonna win.
Now, I do think you can use the 6-button Sega Genesis controller, but I didn't look into it really far.
Yeah, no, it might change up the punches and kicks.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
It might. I don't know. So when you're in this little battle mode, you have a little health meter of dots. When you run out of the dots, you lose, or when your enemy runs out of the dots, they lose. So
the best is when you're fighting over top of water. And you kill them, and then they fall into the water, and you see their hand like go underneath, like, no, no, Jack, I love you, Jack.
So if you do have a fallen soldier, you can actually revive them with a medic.
Calling the medics?
You take the pointer over the top of them when they're down, and it'll say medic, and you press A, and it'll send out a medic to come pick up the soldier, take them off the battlefield, heal them up, and let them come back out.
That's such a key thing to have.
Yes, except you only get so many medics, and they carry over to each level, so you can blow them all in one battle if you're not careful.
Which I did the first time.
Yes, me too. I didn't realize that was something you could run out of. But you do earn points for winning and stuff and doing certain things. So the more points you get, the more medics you can end up getting. So you want to try to have the best score you can possibly have.
Well, that's like any game, Toby.
Well, some games you play like...
Because you want to be the best around. Because no one ever's going to bring you down.
Well, some of the scores don't matter in some games. Like, it's just like a high
Scores
score.
always fucking matter in every game.
If you say so.
If you want to live your life being not a high scorer, man, that's up to you.
Well, so actually to earn extra points to be a high scorer, there's special objectives that you can do that'll appear sometimes. It'll be something simple like, during this battle, you have to destroy the helicopter or protect your tank. And
building or outpost or...
Right. So it just depends. There's different challenges, and all you got to do is what it says and get some extra points for some medics.
I love blowing their shit up. To send it in a fucking TNT guy. Demolition expert.
Yeah.
Suck it.
And it does usually show you at the when you're selecting your troop. So you kind of have like an idea of like, oh, I need to find one of the troops that has grenades or the TNT, like you said.
Yeah, if you have all assault rifle guys, that's not going to do too well. You need to have someone who can blow shit up.
So there's also, on top of the special objectives, there's items you can collect, and sometimes they're hidden in crates and stuff, but you can get some goodies for some extra points. There's a safe, gold bars, documents, and money bags.
Yeah, you just go get them up and get those points even higher.
That's right.
Well, unless you're Toby and don't care about them.
Yeah, I don't care about getting high, goobs.
Well, neither do I. I care about scoring.
You can also find the items.
We that's all we talked about before we recorded this show, is just setting up that one joke, and that was it. That's the pinnacle of this show, folks.
Good job. I'm glad we accomplished that goal.
We made it there.
So,
like, comment, and subscribe just for that. Not like, leave a fucking review.
Yeah,
we're not YouTubers.
You were close.
Maybe.
So there's also the item of the medic box. Like, you can actually get more medics if you collect that box.
I went for them every time. I didn't care if I lost everyone.
Yeah, you do. You really, you have no choice.
I killed 4 people just for this one revive.
Well, and that's the thing. If you get it and you keep shooting as they're running, I mean, it's kind of worth it. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm not playing this game right. Now, what's kind of neat is the characters experience difficulties during this war times. Sometimes the gunners, their guns will jam on them, and they won't be able to shoot for a little while. And
the flamethrowers, when they go through the water, they'll get up and they'll shoot bubbles out, because, you can't shoot fucking flamethrower after being in water.
Yeah, it's really tricky. And then there's certain levels, like, you have no choice but to get in the water, so you're like, oh, well, fuck, this is gonna suck. But I mean, it's clever. Let's just put it that way. It's clever that they made it to where there's a little bit more of a difficulty, like a real wartime situation.
Oh, exactly.
And we haven't really stressed on this, but this game is goofy. Like, they 100% are trying to be goofy throughout this entire game.
Oh, it's cartoony as hell.
This is not a serious game. I mean, especially from the fight cartoon cloud that they end up in, and it's just a really silly animated game.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, this is usually one of my favorite segments, but let's talk about the music.
And that was the music. On to the next segment.
There is literally like 3 little jingles in this game.
And they're good. I like them.
They're not bad. They do feel war-ish, cartoon war-ish. But I just wish there was something during the battles, because it is silent except for grunts and gunfire noises and...
It's the sound of silence.
It's the
Grenades
sound
tossing
of
in
war.
the air. Berserkers throwing TNT everywhere. We got a guy with a machine gun and a rocket launcher aimed at your son.
I was just going to let you keep going.
That's warm. I could probably do a whole song.
Yeah, there's really nothing, though, to talk about. I mean, what did you think of the sound effects, then?
Is that close enough?
Yeah, that's about what it is. I mean, did you have any feelings towards the sound?
What was that game? Was that Home Alone?
Home Alone, when he slips on whatever it is and he goes, bleh, bleh. He throws up, it sounds like. But no, what do you think? I mean, are the sound effects okay, good, bad?
And they were good, and you really hear them because there's nothing else going on.
There is nothing else going on.
So this is the perfect game for me. So I put on my own soundtrack and then go to war. Put on some fucking metal and just rock it, man. Actually, I should have listened to Rocket Man by Elton John, because that's a good song to go to war to.
Yeah, no, I was gonna try to agree with you, but I don't know if I can agree.
You
I've
better
never been
put
to war
fucking
though.
crickets after that.
I've never been to war, so you might be right. That may be the tune of war.
I've never been to war too, only General Chaos.
You've been to General Chaos. Well,
The character from South Park.
hey, but I've never been to
Fucking
war.
Butters.
I've never been to war, Goobs. But have I ever showed you my gun?
I fell for this trick before back in 1907.
Well,
and you know what? I want no part of this, so I'm gonna see you later, man.
Wait, it's just right here. Look at it, dude. Oh, Goobs, I mean, well, I wish you'd come back and look at how cool this gun is.
Fuck that, man. Make love, not war. I'm going to make love to myself right now. So my wife ain't home.
Well, fine. I guess while he's gone, I guess I can just clean my gun. I'm just gonna rub it real good.
Sounds like you're making love to yourself too,
Hey,
Toby.
I'm not. Don't worry about what I do in my spare time.
The gun's just a euphemism.
This is Texas. Everyone has guns.
And giant swords.
So yeah, I'm just gonna clean off my gun and
Whoa.
Oh, you know what? I should have known that when I rubbed this gun that you were gonna come out of it. How did I not know
believe
better?
I'm the one single bullet that you needed.
Well, Goob Genie, how the hell are you doing?
I'm doing splendid. Decent at best.
Oh, nice. Well,
I'm jolly today. I love coming out of guns.
hey, so we're talking about this General Chaos game for Sega Genesis. Do you know any codes for it by chance?
Oh, I do, but I hate war. So this will help you beat the war, because that's what everyone needs to do. Beat the wars. Fuck war. Screw war. But I will give you a code just for you, Toby, so you can be the greatest general that ever generalized.
Yeah, let's hear it.
To access the game's secret mode, plug in both controllers. You need two controllers for this. I hope you have two controllers.
Okay, I've got two controllers.
Pause the game and hold down buttons A and B on controller 1. Oh, this is going to get complicated. Better listen up.
Okay.
And button C on controller 2. Once this code has been registered, you can go to the next battle. War or get maximum medics as follows. Oh, you like medics?
I do. They're very helpful in this game.
I like their short skirts.
That's a naughty nurse.
Naughty nurses are great. Listen to the Tony Hawk episodes. Hookups having great naughty nurses.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of Goobs Genie's favorites. To execute battle events, hold down buttons A and C and press up on controller 1. That is controller uno. And button B on controller dos. That is 2. To execute war events, hold down buttons A and C and press down on controller 1, and press button B on controller 2. And to get maximum medics, because you need all the health you need in this game, press buttons A and C on controller 1 and button B on controller 2.
Goobs Genie, can you just email me that? Because that's pretty complicated. But it sounds helpful as hell.
I only use messenger pigeons.
Oh, well...
I know Genie and I know magic and stuff, but I love birds. Birds are my favorite animal.
Weird. I would have not expected you to be a bird guy, Goobs Genie.
I'm the Goobs Genie. I love birds. Birds are my friends.
Oh.
I can get my pecker on right now. Whoa! Getting dragged away by giant condors.
Oh.
See you later, Toby.
Bye, Goobs Genie.
I'm gonna have fun.
Wow, that was unexpected. A giant bird taking him away? Weird.
Giant bird taking who away?
Huh?
You talking about me in the bathroom?
Well, no, I wasn't talking about your giant bird.
Thank God, because I got a little sparrow.
Hey, you want to hear some fun facts?
Let's hear some fun facts with Toby.
Goobs, this is going wild here in America. This is one of the most popular things in America. I know you're Canadian, so you don't know this, but we have the #1 game show in America right now. It's called...
Bigger than Price is Right with Drew Carey?
Yes, 10 times. We're
Bigger
gonna
than Family Feud with Steve Harvey?
almost there. So
Bigger than Guess My Nuts with Goobs Genie?
I thought you didn't know who that was.
I heard his name in passing.
Ah, okay. No, we're gonna play How Much Is This Game? So, Goobs, on this game, you, sir, are going to guess how much does this game cost. We're talking loosey-goosey, out of the box, just free
Water damage?
dangling, no water damage, a nice loose copy. How much does it go for?
I don't really see this game around too often, to be honest with you. I look for it because I just want to have it. I'm gonna say $22.50 because in exchange rate I have a price in my mind, so I took it down to $22.50.
So that you're saying $22.50 in America?
I'm thinking 30 Canadian, $22.50 American.
Okay, because we're doing American prices on this show.
Yes, I know. I have to break it down because I have a Canadian state of mind, right?
The loose copy will run you about $13.
That's not bad, man.
No, not bad. Now, closed in box, we're talking SEGA clam case with the manual. Looks
35.
good. 35 American?
Yeah.
You were so close. It's $30 closed in box.
5 off. Not bad.
No.
Can I have a parting prize anyways?
No, we're all out of them.
Here's a copy of Shaq Fu. Just whip it out the show's or the host's head.
So, how about we just go ahead and jump into some of the... I don't really have a whole bunch of fun facts, but I got enough to whet your
War is
appetite.
hell and hell is war.
So this game was actually created by the same man that created Rampage, named Brian Collin. So this is the same creator.
Yeah, I actually watched a whole thing that he was trying to make a new version of this game.
Right. He was actually running a Kickstarter on September 6th, 2013, and he was going to do a remake on mobile devices and tablets and stuff, and you had actually been able to touch to where you wanted the troops to go.
It actually looked pretty cool.
It did. It looked really good, but they fell short on their goal. So I don't know if it ever got made or if it's still in development. I don't know the status on that. I mean, it was, that was 2013. It's probably
dead in the water.
Yeah, it's been a handful of years. Or hell, it may have come out and we just don't know. So, I would like to have seen it on a iPad or something. I think that would have been pretty fun.
I would even like an arcade release on the Xbox or PlayStation.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Make
too.
it like a $12 game. I would have picked it up, no problem.
Yeah. So if you pause the game when the character's gun jams, it'll actually finish out his animation and allow him to fix it while the game's paused.
Oh, fucking, that's what I'm going to use for my speed run, man.
And if you pause the game when one of your characters throws a grenade, it'll actually keep the animation going just like before, and it'll still hit some of the characters.
That's it. I'm a speed running genius after this one.
It'll still hit the enemies when you throw the grenades, and they can't run away because it's paused. So there's some...
That's some fucking tactics of war right there.
If only we could do
the
that in
Art
real
of
life.
War by Toby.
Right. So the final battle, the general on the map select screen announces, "Victory is within our grasp, but there is a spelling error that makes it read, victory is within our gasp." So.
Thank God I didn't say victory is within our ass.
That'd have been even cooler.
Because that'd be a hard thing to get out. You have some stinky fingers.
Gross. So the director of Hogan's Heroes, the TV series, which I've never seen Hogan's Heroes. Never.
It doesn't have Hulk Hogan in it, so I didn't watch it.
Yeah, no, I think I would have been disappointed as a kid flipping it on, like, all right, where's Hulkster?
Yeah, it was like a war show. My grandpa used to watch it.
Now, I did like MASH. I liked MASH.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Well, anyways, that director of that show, he filed a lawsuit in 1994 based on some of the quotations used in the game. I guess one of the characters screams Hogan or something. And
I didn't see that and or remember it.
I didn't either, but this is what I found. So maybe this is not true at all. But it says that one of the characters says Hogan, and it's used when a soldier was flame broiled on the battlefield. So I just don't really I don't remember that character bubble popping up, or maybe they say it and it's just one of the sound effects that get lost in all of the gunfire. Who knows?
And all the crazy music you hear in this game.
Yeah, that's it. But the director actually lost the case, so boo-hoo. The Japanese title of this game is called General Chaos. I'm about to try to say a hard word. Daiokansen. Daiokansen. It's just got an extra word in it.
Not too crazy.
So if
We've seen games like totally have different names.
Right, and that's what I was kind of expecting, and I was like, oh, they just added a extra word. So if you're playing 4-player mode, you cannot use the 6-button Sega controller. You can use it, but you have to play it using the 3-button mode. So I don't know why that is. If there's just too many inputs,
Game can't just comprehend all the inputs, man.
I guess. And
Johnny 5 self-destruct.
do not disassemble.
Yeah,
Disassemble.
Butterfly, disassemble.
How did we get a Johnny 5 reference in 2 episodes?
Because we're fucking awesome.
So for the true ending, I told you this a minute ago, you have to beat the game twice. After you capture Havoc's base, you actually have to play it again and continue to get the real ending. But if you lose the first round, you don't get the option to continue. You have to just basically start the game over.
And it looks like he's in a bar with like a German like hostess.
Yeah.
A female.
It's really weird. And there was
kind of a manly face, I'm going to say.
I watched one other video talking about this game, and they said something about the woman in the back, like in between the levels, like when the generals are talking, is the same woman. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, she's like your helper, but like she's wearing like a low cut top and stuff, and looks like a hostess.
Yeah, well, she's in on both teams basically.
Lederhosen at the end of it.
What's that?
She's like wearing like lederhosen. There's like a keg next to her head.
Oh yeah, well,
you're having drinks.
It's real weird because I mean she's on both teams. She just wears the team's color that won that round or whatever.
Well, maybe in the neighborhood. Let's go theory here. When they were neighborhood friends, they lived next door to a girl that like girls that were twins.
Oh man!
And they each like befriended one of them, and then they're like, "No, I love Chaos. No, I love Havoc." And then they split off as well as friends did, and like learned to hate each other.
Man, you're making this story way deeper. Tell us more.
That's all I got, man.
Well, you know what time it is, Scoobs?
It's time to fucking rage!
Oh, come on!
So this is the part of the show where we let our rage out on the battlefield. We have a 1 to 10 scale of how pissed off this game makes us. Goobs, how pissed off did this game make you?
Straight down the middle, sir. It's a 5. Not too serious for me.
Okay.
I'll drop it down to a 4.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. All right. I don't think I've ever heard you drop a score before.
Oh, I'm dropping it down.
Okay.
If I was playing with my brother or my friends back in the day, probably would have been higher. Because we forgot to touch on the multiplayer aspect of this game.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where this game really flourishes. Like, when you're against a friend in the heat of the battle and you're placing your troops everywhere, it's a lot of fucking fun. And, yeah, I highly recommend this game if you have a friend around. Just to play a couple rounds, you battling back and forth on the battlefield. It could go quite a long time. It's a lot harder to beat your friend than it is to beat the computer.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah, the rage isn't too steep on this one. You go into battle, you win a couple check marks, and you beat the game. Then you go back into the game, you take a couple of battlefields, and you're at the end. Havoc can suck a nut, because Havoc ain't that crazy. It ain't that bad.
Well, see, you're a veteran at this game.
Senpai.
So you're a war veteran, basically.
Yes. I've been playing this game for quite some years, and I always go back to it. So it's pretty simple for me to go through. I know the controls, know what to do, know the parts to take in the battlefield, what tanks to blow up, what places to blow up. It's not that bad, man.
Okay, well, you
War
say
ain't that hard for me. 4. 4.
Now, we're
10, 4?
We're talking about me being a first-timer on this game, right?
Exactly, sir.
So, I'm giving this an 8 right out of the gate.
Holy shit, you're doubling my score.
You have to study on how to play this game. It's not a simple... I mean, the buttons are as simple as it can be. Let me throw that out there. It's as simple as it can be, but it just starts you. There's no indication that you should even go to the training mode.
Yeah, there's no tutorial or nothing. You just jump right into it.
Right. So if you don't know that boot camp means training mode, you might just be like, "Oh, that's another game style." So yeah, it just throws you in, and you're just like, "I don't know what to do." It's really fast paced. It'll stress you out. Like, it would really stress me out to where I'd forget what button I was pressing, and I would accidentally, like...
I love how this game got you so frazzled.
It did, because, like, I would be trying to move my soldiers around, and then I'd realize, oh, fuck, I'm just cycling through. I'm not actually moving my soldiers. And then, when I was trying to cycle through, I'd accidentally move my soldiers. It would irritate me, because I'd get it all mixed up.
Sometimes that random actions would help you out.
Yeah, sometimes. I just think this is not a game that you can just pick up and play. You kind of have to study, like I was saying. You must know how to play this game. And like you're an experienced player, so I can see it being a good time after you've gained the experience and the knowledge of how to play this. But
it sounds like a review of Venture of Lolo, but reversed.
Kind of. But this isn't a puzzle game. Like, a puzzle game, you can...
It kind of is.
No, you can kind of stop and really think about Lolo and, like, what moves you need to make. This one is just, like, it's constant shooting. Like, it's not like a turn-based game where you're taking turns firing at each other and moving a piece, kind of like a chess game. This is like a real-time...
It's like war, man.
It's like if you were playing chess when you're a little kid and you don't know how to play it, and you're playing with your a friend, and y'all are just
a Russian chess master.
You're just moving the pieces around, and you're like, I got you. It's very chaotic. It's chaos.
You're a hacker. That was close.
But Yeah. I mean, like I said, if you know how to play this, you're gonna have fun. Out of the gate, you're gonna be pissed off. So I'm giving it an 8. I'm staying at an 8. You're giving it a 4.
That's the farthest division we've ever had on the Rage meter.
Yeah, it really is. But it's time to settle down, and let's talk
Take
about
a deep breath, and then
deep breath, and talk about what we think of this game
and
overall.
remember the people that we lost while playing this game.
Always remember.
Lost a lot of soldiers.
So 1 to 10, we're going to rate this game because we're simple folk and we don't know big numbers. So 1 to 10, what do you give it on this scale of how good it was? 10 being the best.
I'm gonna give this a 7.
7? Okay.
It's a lot of fun for me. The graphics are there on this game. You can see the sprites very clearly. Each character is representative of who they are. You can tell exactly like who's the gunner, who's the bazooka guy, who's the bomber, the grenade. You can tell who everyone is, and it's very clear on the map. The maps are very well done. You can see exactly where you're going, especially in the water, because your little bubbles floating over your head. You gotta think that's a lot to do. You got 10 different sprites on the field. Everyone's doing a different thing. I didn't experience very much lag in this game. When there's that much going on, you got 10 different guys shooting at each other non-stop. So that's not bad. That's pretty decent. And the goals and I like the little objectives you gotta do. This has a little spice to it. I would have liked some music. That's why I'm giving this a 7. If it had some music, I probably would give it an 8, 8.5 if the music was good. I would have liked a little bit more music when you're going in and out of battles and during the battles, but it is what it is. And the gameplay is definitely there. It's tight. I love the fight scenes when you go up and punch the guy and kick the guy. Normally just punch because that's how you win a battle. And when you get shot, that kind of sucks, but I don't know. Gonna give this game a solid 7.
Okay. Well,
Sticking with it this time. I'm not changing.
Well, I'm gonna just give it a little bit lower than you. I'm giving it a 6.
That's fine.
It's a really funny game. It doesn't take itself too seriously.
But you haven't played it with friends.
That is a problem. I think this would be a lot of fun with friends.
That's why I want a new one online. Sorry, I'm just going to continue.
It would have been cool.
If you had this online, like 4 players online, like 2 people per team, there would be a lot of fucking fun, man.
I really can't believe this didn't make it onto the Sega Genesis collection. You know, because it's really not a bad game.
It is an original.
Yeah. I mean, it's a Sega exclusive. It's a really unique game.
I'm pissed that you mentioned that they didn't put this on there.
Well, and I truly think that this is the simplest that this game could be. I mean, it's using 3 buttons, and it uses it to the best, that it could. It does suffer from not being able to be picked up and played by anyone. I think that's a big mark against it. It's really lacking in the music, like you said. It has okay sound effects at best, but I wish there was some music. Like, maybe give us 4 different tracks that play while you're fighting. I think that would have been a little fun. It's got a little bit of lag. I know you said you didn't experience much, but I always experience it during the hand-to-hand combat scenes. And it wasn't terrible, and it's almost like a breath of fresh air when it does do it. You're like, oh, I can slow down a little bit. So I'm fine with the lag in this game. The graphics are fine. I liked them. The sprites looked all right. I did appreciate all the backgrounds. They were you could tell that they were identical. Like, they were all kind of. There's not a lot they could do with what they had in the little map, but what they did do is like add the rivers or the buildings and stuff. I thought that was clever. I liked how that looked.
Yeah, they changed up the scenery a little bit.
Yeah, so they did make it a little bit different for each battle zone.
But I found in the second playthrough, you're playing through a lot of the same stuff. Or you play through the game a few times, you know every map, not nap, because there's no napping during fucking wars.
Well, in this game would have been neat to be able to customize your soldiers instead of like the preset troopers. So like maybe if there was something to where you had like a point system. So like a gunner is a point, bazooka guy is 2 points, the grenade guy is 3 points. Like if they had some kind of thing like that, and you
Yeah,
can.
that'd be cool if you can make your own team.
Yeah, I think that would have been a nice addition. And I don't know. I just think this game's a little bit over average, and it's mostly because it's really unique. I've never played anything else like this. And one last thing I do think, or that I wish you could see your health and your enemy's health. I think that would have been a good thing to add to.
Yeah, because sometimes you're just like plugging a guy with bullets, and you're like, why aren't you dropping?
Yeah.
And then sometimes you lay down and you look like you're dead, and then you get back up.
Yeah, so
Sometimes you lay down and then you need a medic, but then you don't get to him, and then he turns into a skeleton. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
yeah, I think that would have helped it out. So again, it's definitely fun if you're looking for something different and unique on the Sega Genesis. So
And again, if you have a friend, definitely play it with them, because it's super, super much more fun with a buddy.
well, I may have to
With
try that.
somebody.
With a somebody. So between my 6, your 7, we're giving it a 6.5 for our overall rating.
Not bad, not bad.
No, that's war for you.
Yeah, that's a grenade to the fucking testicles.
Finish him.
So this is the part of the show where we go back and we see our best gals, and we wrap up the show.
Yeah, we go have a beer at a German pub with our twin that helps us during battle.
I was trying to sound like old-timey war, like, I can't wait to make it home to my gal. I don't know if that worked.
In 1906.
Anyways, Goobs, will you tell us all about your other shows and stuff?
Yes, I'm going to keep it short and sweet this time, because I'm going to try to do that from now on. Go check out the Derailers. Best friend Ripken. Best wife Jenny, because she's the only wife I have. We take a train off the track every single week. And go check out the show. It's on every available podcasting platform. That was hard to say, but you can go check us out everywhere. The Derailers. Love us. And then we have Derailed Wrestling on YouTube. Search us out. Me and Ripken put a whole bunch of wrestlers in the ring, make up stories, make up plans. We make up a whole bunch of shit. And we entertain your eyes and your ears. Because we have commentary that is decent at best. Go check out both of those shows that I am working on. Toby, what about you, you beautiful bastard?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Toby Von Doom. Do you have a Twitter for your personal page there, Goobs?
Yeah, I got Goobs WN.
And then... yeah.
Put an ad in there. It's not the Goobs. That's French.
And you can also find my other show, the Secret Transmission Podcast, on all the major podcasting platforms. We talk about cryptozoology, conspiracies, UFOs, all kinds of spooky stuff with a satire outlook on it. We're not comedians, but we poke fun at stuff. We're not
I don't know, I
funny.
find it pretty funny when you mess up big words.
Oh, I'm terrible.
I do the same thing, so it's all good, man.
You can find that show on Instagram and Twitter at Secret Transpod. But I want to tell you about this show and where you can find it, Goobs. You can find it on Twitter and Instagram at Secret Levels Pod. Please follow us. Talk to us.
Get a one up if you do.
You can also like our Facebook page. And you can join our Facebook group called Secret Levels Group. And you can join our Discord. And you can join in on all the burger talk.
Yeah, there's a lot of burger talk going on there. We have one guy who actually loves cheeseburgers all the time. We got a guy who can't see too well, and his favorite superhero is Division.
It's a
We got a guy who likes icebergs and gave himself Berg. And we got the fucking Zinger. He's in there too. Angry Adam's in there. We got a whole bunch of guys in there.
Yeah, so the Discord link is in the show notes. So
Plenty of people in there, and we all play Smash together pretty much. So
yeah,
if you want to smash around, come join us.
or if you just want to chit chat with us or the rest of the gang, join it.
Yeah, there's also sorts of different forums in there. You can all talk about all sorts of shit. But if you want to support the show and you want to support us, you go to www.tpublic.com/users/secret levels. Yeah, put some stank on that shit.
Yeah, you
They
did.
can put some stank on your chest. Get some stanky t-shirt designs by Toby himself, because they're absolutely ghetto fabulous. And they're amazing. Go get some awesome t-shirts at www.tpublic.com/users/secret levels. Radio voice, booyah!
Nice. And make sure you leave us a review on iTunes. We would appreciate the hell out of you if you
Yeah,
did.
fuck yeah. We love hearing good shit about us. Even bad shit, too. We can take it, I think.
No, we can't.
No, I'll cry.
Our egos are too fragile.
My ego is so, inflated at this point. You use a little deflating. But please, 5 stars at the least.
All right, you pieces of scum. You're going to be running my obstacle course today. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir!
All right. Well, what are you doing with your balls in your hand? Get to running.
Oh, yes, sir!
Come on. Move it. Move it.
I'm hustling, sir! Yes,
Here it
sir!
is. Hustle faster. You need to climb up this wall. You need to be over it 5 seconds ago. What are you doing?
I
Come
made
on.
it, sir! Yes, sir!
All right, there's another bigger wall. Now go to that.
Ah, God damn it! Ah,
Get up there.
made it up and over!
Here's an even 10 times taller wall. I need you to be over it 30 seconds ago.
Ah, fuck! No, sir! Can't do it! Too
Come
fat!
on. Off your ass and on your feet. Now's not the time to beat your meat. Get over the wall.
I'm running like a hamster up a treadmill. Can't do it.
Are you quitting on me? Well, are you? Then quit, you slimy fucking walrus-looking piece of shit. Get the fuck off my obstacle. Get the fuck down off my obstacle. Now move it! Or I'm going to rip your balls off so you cannot contaminate the rest of this world.
Sir, you can't say that anymore.
What do you mean?
You can't say I'm gonna rip my balls off and contaminate the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, it's 2019. You can't say that kind of stuff anymore.
Oh, when did this change?
Last year. 2018.
You know what? Just get off my obstacle course, you maggot.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Do you just use the hard M?
Is that not okay anymore either?
Game over, folks.